What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool video where we will analyze how Jurgen Klopp can fix Liverpool and turn their form around. But first I want to share what Graham Souness said about Liverpool. I respect him as a pundit. He's not the greatest pundit in England, but I think him playing for Liverpool for many years and him being a Liverpool legend makes his opinion matter, and Liverpool are miles off where they should be right now. He's 100% correct in that. And Graham Souness said the need for intensity is a collective thing. It has always been that way, going back to my time as a player at the club. They like to call it pressing nowadays, but when I was playing we just called it closing down. If one person is not doing it, the whole system breaks down, and you might as well drop off and be a team that plays counter-attacking football. And I think Liverpool being outrun, out-sprinted in the past 7 games in a row is very concerning, and it shows that Liverpool have dropped their levels massively, because it literally never happened before, I think, under Jurgen Klopp, that 7 teams in a row have out-sprinted and outpaced Liverpool basically, with the amount of running that the team does, the opposition does, and the amount of sprints that the opposition does compared to Liverpool. 7 games in a row, Liverpool are second best in distance covered and sprints done, and that I think never happened before. So something has definitely dropped in the intensity of this Liverpool team. And Graham Souness said that the point I'm trying to make is that you can't put Wednesday night or Liverpool's average start to this season down onto only individuals. In a team I was a part of, we worked together, we hunted the ball together, and we won it back together. Liverpool need another battle-hardened, experienced midfielder at the core of their team to pick the pass and capitalize on the movement of the strikers. And I think Thiago and Arthur could be one of the, or part of the solution to fixing Liverpool's problems. Jurgen Klopp said he didn't need that big name addition this summer. He listed young players. He says they can step up and do a job for him. It's good to hear that he has faith in lads such as Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones. But this is a hard and unforgiving environment. It's a big jump from midfielders like Thiago, who is 31, Henderson, who is 32, James Milner 36, to those young ones. I think Henderson and Milner are not good examples, because this season they have been miles off their best form, but certainly there is a big jump from Thiago's quality to Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones and Fabio Carvalho. But those young players need to develop and need to step up quickly, because Liverpool need them right now. Arthur Melo, there is no doubting his quality. Big question, will Arthur Melo be able to deal with the intensity of the English game? Liverpool are playing every 3 days, well, not now, but usually they are playing every 3 days with an intensity of a cup final, and everyone has to be at it, on it, 100%. And I fully agree with Graham Souness in that he's saying, I do think there is room in that midfield for another high-intensity, workaholic midfielder who can also deliver a cute pass. Go back to Liverpool's best midfield of 3 or 4 years ago. You had Wijnaldum, workaholic, James Milner, workaholic, Jordan Henderson, another player who works very hard. Not the most gifted in terms of cute passing, but relentless workers, all of them. The creativity was coming through the fullbacks and the forwards. There is no need for panic, of course, and knee-jerk reactions. All players are different in how long it takes them to get totally up to speed at the start of the season. Maybe we are just seeing a slow start combined with a lot of injuries, and also combined with probably a little bit of a hangover after last season ended in a heartbreak after going so close in the Premier League and Champions League trophy races. Maybe Liverpool players mentally haven't got over the disappointment of last season. But we are not seeing the Liverpool that we know, because the team are not getting first to the ball. And that's a big concern, and that's what Jurgen Klopp will have to find out why that is. And now let's look at how Jurgen Klopp can fix this Liverpool team, and how he can turn it around. Liverpool need to reinvent themselves. That's what Jurgen Klopp said, and in this video we will take a look at exactly how. So Liverpool's season are certainly not over. They are only 3 points of top 4, 6 points of the Premier League leaders, but Napoli are a very good very serious team, so you can lose to Napoli. It was more the performance that was the concern, more than the result itself. But Liverpool have to get their act together quickly, because Tottenham and Arsenal started the season on fire, and also Man United are showing signs of big improvement. So if Liverpool drop too many points, we could be cut adrift even in the top 4 race, not just in the title race. And I think one of the obvious ones is Liverpool have to refresh their aging squad, because at the start of the 2019-20 season, in the Community Shield final, where we lost on penalties to Man City, 8 of Liverpool's starting 11 players were the same players that started against Fulham this season in the first game week of the Premier League season. So Liverpool definitely need to refresh their squad. Of course, we signed Fabio Carvalho, Darwin Núñez, Calvin Ramsey, but I think we needed a little bit more. And of course, the Luis Diaz and Ibrahima Konate already settled in well. Luis Diaz is one of our best players, but we need that work rate and that intensity from the whole team. Luis Diaz, even when we were 4-0 down, he was chasing down after every ball, and you didn't see that enthusiasm, that desire, that intensity from a lot of the other Liverpool players. And another solution is to connect to the midfield, because too many times the midfielders have been too far wide, too far apart. Sometimes even Henderson and James Milner bumped on to be in the box instead of, staying next to Fabinho and protecting the back four. And the defense has been often too open at points this season, but it was because a lot of the midfielders, apart from Fabinho, have vacated the midfield and bumped forward gung-ho, and when we lost the ball there was nobody to cover for the vast spaces that of course Trent and Robertson left open when they are, bombing forward. Liverpool can't afford to have both Trent and the right-sided midfielder up the pitch when we lose the ball, because then it's only Fabinho and the centre-backs who players are running forward towards. And I think it's a good argument that Harvey Elliott and James Milner, they are both good players, but they should be squad players at most for a side aiming for the title. Gifted playmaker Thiago's return cannot come soon enough, and I think this little break that Liverpool got, and we might play the Liverpool-Ajax game on Tuesday, hopefully that will go ahead. Hopefully by that time Thiago and Arthur has really got up to speed fitness-wise, so they can hopefully start. Fabinho and Henderson are not world-class ball players, and the club is missing Thiago's ability to pick the ball up from defense, travel with the ball, play forwards and link the team together. You saw how much Liverpool's midfield improved when Thiago came on against Napoli. It was like we were a completely different team, and it's scary how much Liverpool are depending on Thiago to have a great performance. Keita performs that role as well to a lesser extent, but for the moment he's out as well, and that has been the problem, that two of our best midfielders, Naby Keita and Thiago, have been out injured at the same time. Arthur Melo could solve that problem as well, and you need to improve the mood around the squad as well. Klopp has always had a tendency to be irascible in press conferences where he doesn't like the line of questioning, and he's not the only manager to do so. Consistently and constantly moaning about referees or the grass being too long and other complaints. It might be genuinely how he's feeling, but it only undermines the morale at Liverpool. So Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp needs to lift the morale as well. Obviously winning games will improve the morale the most, so that's what we need to do first and foremost. And that's why it's a shame that the Wolves game got postponed, because I think Wolves are not the greatest side, they are not in great form, so winning against them at Anfield would have improved morale for sure. And also we need to rediscover this aura of invincibility, because at the moment even Virgil van Dijk looks a mere mortal centre-back. He doesn't look like the centre-back who people are afraid of running at. So Mitrovic was the first player to dribble past Virgil van Dijk and cause him to concede a penalty in a Premier League game. That shows that how amazing Virgil van Dijk has been for the past few years, but also it shows that maybe he's not back to his best after his long injury still. The biggest concern is if Liverpool's bad form continues, then they might not be focusing on catching Man City, but focusing on not getting taken over by too many sides, so they will finish in the top 4. And at the moment it looks like Liverpool are in transition, which is not what you want when so many of your players are in their prime years. And Luis Diaz is a fine player and he has settled into life on the left wing brilliantly after Mane's departure, but Liverpool are still missing Mane's explosive dynamism and unpredictability, and he was a man for the big moments. And also that same time Salah has hit a little bit of a slow start to the season, and yes, even though Salah already has a few goals this season, he hasn't been at his best, even he himself will admit that. So there is a combination of factors that result in Liverpool starting the season so slow, and Jurgen Klopp will have to galvanize the squad, and I think this little break benefits Liverpool massively. And hopefully better days are coming to Liverpool, because otherwise our season will be a wasted season. If we don't challenge for the Premier League title, if we don't challenge for the Champions League with the squad we have, I think it will be a massive disappointment. And also there is fear of the Premier League being delayed next weekend as well. The Queen's funeral will be next Monday, not this Monday that is coming, but on September the 19th. So there is still a possibility that police presence could be allowed in fixtures in London, the Chelsea-Liverpool fixture, for example. But still the Premier League has not confirmed whether next weekend's fixtures will go ahead or not, which is a concern. And probably clubs will be unlikely to agree on reversing fixtures for London-based teams. There is the idea of potentially the Chelsea-Liverpool fixture being played in Liverpool as the Liverpool-Chelsea game, so not many games are scheduled to be played in London due to safety concerns, but that's I think another proposal that the clubs will have to discuss. According to Athletic, the likelihood of clubs agreeing to this proposal is very slim, especially among those who would now need to host a new home game at such short notice. So the Premier League need to make a decision very soon on what they do with next weekend's fixtures. And with little time to find another solution, it is becoming increasingly likely that matches staged in London next weekend are postponed while the other fixtures return. Tottenham's clash with Leicester, Brentford's match against Arsenal and Liverpool's visit to Chelsea are the fixtures most in jeopardy next weekend. Further postponements could cause an unprecedented fixture pile-up at some point next year. I wouldn't have a big problem with the Chelsea-Liverpool fixture being postponed, because Chelsea having a new manager and the new manager bounce is famous, and also Liverpool not being in great form. Going to Chelsea and potentially losing another game could really derail Liverpool's season, so I wouldn't have a problem with Liverpool not playing that fixture. But of course I don't want too many games to be postponed at the same time, so let's just wait and see what happens. But for example, the English Football League are set to continue on Tuesday. So why can't the Champions League games be played? Why can't the Premier League games be played next week? And I really hope that football resumes as soon as possible, because the more fixtures we get postponed, the more trouble it will be for all the clubs in the second half of the season in an already very congested fixture list. And I always have a big admiration for Dirk Kuyt, who was one of my favorite players at Liverpool, and he warned Ajax, you don't want to face a wounded Liverpool. He said, I'm confident that Jurgen Klopp will get Liverpool back on track. Klopp is still searching for the right mechanism in midfield and in attack. That doesn't surprise me after the departure of Sadio Mane to Bayern Munich and the arrival of Darwin Núñez. They are two completely different types of striker. If Liverpool is having a bad time like this period, the crowd often creates an atmosphere of invincibility. I would be very surprised if Ajax can play well against Liverpool under that intense pressure. At Anfield, I've seen even the greatest teams with the most experienced top players lose the plot and crumble. As a Liverpool player, you are boosted by the noise, then an energy is released and there is no stopping you. On the pitch there is no escaping the noise because of the way the crowd reacts. You even become alert to a chance or when a dangerous situation threatens. They help you as a Liverpool player to anticipate certain situations. For example, if there is 2 or 3 opposition players closing the player down, they scream at him just to beware. And I love the Anfield crowd, and I think we need them more than ever before. And I really hope that the Liverpool-Ajax game goes forward, because the Champions League fixtures also have to be played before the World Cup starts, I think. So it's going to be very, very tough if too many games are postponed. So this is Liverpool's fixture list at the moment. We play Ajax hopefully on the 13th of September. The Chelsea game is still in the balance. And then our next game will be on October the 1st, Liverpool against Brighton. But after that we play Rangers, Arsenal, Rangers again, and Man City. So Liverpool have to turn their form around very, very quickly. And of course then we play Ajax in the Champions League as well. And we play the Napoli game on November the 1st. So before the World Cup starts, the Champions League fixtures have to be completed. So Liverpool can't really postpone any more games in the Champions League, in my opinion. Our last fixture before the World Cup is on November the 12th, Liverpool-Southampton, and after that we only return on Boxing Day for a Premier League game. So there is literally no time to fit in any more fixtures before the World Cup starts. After the World Cup there is potentially time in January and February, but even then the fixture list looks absolutely crazy. And also finally, I'm not sure if you were aware, but Gordon have been absent from the Liverpool squad for many months, and it has been emerged that he has been troubled by a pelvic injury linked to his physical growth. Of course, Gordon is only 17 years old. He already starred last season in a few games for Liverpool, already scoring his first goal in professional football for Liverpool. But Liverpool have been keeping a careful eye on the issue, with the player following his own specialized training program. And Liverpool have not placed any timeline on his comeback. We will give him all the time in the world that he needs to recover from his injury, and he's still growing and developing as a young player, so he has time on his side, and hopefully he will come back better than ever. And thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making it. See you later. Goodbye.